This is a 2018 Ford Transit T250 high roof campervan Class B motorhome, fully self-contained. I'm just going to show the exterior enhancements I've made on this. I've tried to mimic the new Mercedes Sprinter by blacking out over here, except I left white trim around the edge, which I think looks sharper than what Mercedes did, being filled in. Mercedes has it all filled in, so I think this looks better. So the way I did this was I put masking tape around all of the edge to protect the edge. Then I sanded the white paint. I did not use primer, and then I put truck bed liner spray paint over where it's sanded, and then clear coat on top of that. I installed this bumper guard. I wanted to put something over the Ford logo, but I couldn't find anything nice. Everything was tacky, like skulls and bones and American flags and all that. I repainted all the trim after scrubbing it really well with alcohol, and I repainted the rims black. They were silver when the tire was off. You don't want to you don't want to paint them when the tire is on, because you'll get paint over the braking system. Here was a black Ford logo that I overrode with special order center caps with the eagle design, and then I used silicone around the edge. I redid the two water intakes. The water tanks, this one's for the 45-gallon tank, and this is for a 10-gallon tank. And this is a new chrome or stainless steel 30-amp input. If I need to do something like charge when I'm in the shade, or power the air conditioner when there isn't enough solar power. The mini split air conditioner, I added a foam bumper, and this is a polycarbonate hurricane storm shutter top that has recycled white panel on top, screwed in with some trim around the edge. On the back door, I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but used the same material here to create covers fastened by Velcro. It's something you don't want to be taking on and off very much. But the rear windows are black and draw an enormous amount of heat, which is very bad, especially with dogs traveling. And then I custom cut these two windows here that serve to prevent an overwhelming amount of heat coming in, but yet still be able to see something out at least the back windows. Let's see. Oh, I added this 5-gallon gas tank and used this material here. I think these come in a 4x8 for about $30 at Lowe's and Home Depot. It's a recycled plastic material that works really well for various things. I even use them on some of the windows on the side of the house to block the heat in rooms that I don't use. I have several rooms in the home I don't use. And so this gas tank is a 5-gallon metal gas tank in there, and the plastic is shrouded around it to protect it from the heat and humidity, because the white will reflect the heat really well. The container, the cage for it, the holder, I also painted with a clear coat because it's made in China. You can't buy these made in USA. Even the gas can is made in Latvia, Europe. All of the bumper system is all reconditioned. It's been thoroughly cleaned with alcohol and repainted with truck bed liner. Not just regular black spray paint, and certainly not the so-called trim reconditioner, which, by the way, doesn't work. None of those work. I don't care how much you pay, what brand it is, Mother's, whatever. It's all crap. It does not work. The only solution is to repaint it with truck bed liner. Also, the mirrors are also reconditioned with truck bed liner and clear coat paint, professional clear coat paint. So I really like how this came out. I relocated. I had a NVR security camera inside, and I relocated it outside because when it was inside, it was producing heat. Because when that thing runs, it's producing heat. I have a sticker RV AC on for dog, so that somebody doesn't break the window thinking the dog's suffering with the window up when it's 110 degrees. So the previous electric input and water inputs were not defective, they were just bad looking. For now, this is just a magnet to make it look like a window. Eventually I'm going to get a window installed on each side of the van. That's going to be about twice the size of these, made out of Lexan material. And I'm not sure if I can put tint on the Lexan. I ordered a couple of gel seat covers I'm going to put underneath the air conditioner mount to cut out a little bit of vibration. These amazing LED lights are currently hooked up to a 24 volt RV battery system. I did not hook it up to the 12 volt system. And the switch installed in a very tricky manner right here, on off. It shows a green light when it's on. They're super bright at night, maybe not just right now. So I've had a lot of experience doing this kind of thing. I even installed my own cruise control system, and so I was able to install this very neatly. Yeah, that came out really good. It almost looks factory. I probably should paint the white edge there black somehow. It's just a double-sided tape is all that is. So I'm not sure if it gets to be very hot in the cab, if this is just going to melt the backing. If it does, I may have to find some way to screw it in, but there's nowhere to put a screw through, in which case I'll probably just try the VRB tape, or VHB. I think it's, yeah, VHB, very high bond tape. It already had these visors when I bought the van a few years ago, but I did have to cut it off here because when the visor was coming down here, it was causing reduced visibility. For safety reasons, I had to cut it. When I replaced the brake pads and rotors myself, I did repaint the calipers red, but it's not very visible with these kind of rims. On this one you can see the red. It's just to make it look more sporty or trick. But since this vehicle in fact weighs 8,500 pounds at average, this is not going to have stopping power anywhere near like a sports car. This side step I put on myself, but Ford has this trim sticking in the way, so I actually cut it out, filled it in, and then repainted it with truck bed liner. The filling was like an orange colored, very bad looking, so it's now painted with truck bed liner and clear coat to make it look a little bit more factory. I think that's a good job, considering that's the first one I've done like this. Up on top there is a custom air dam made out of that same recycled plastic material I mentioned before, screwed into the top of the van. It's an aerodynamic do-it-yourself air dam that is not perfect but helps with aesthetics and airflow. The WeBoost antenna system here looks a little tacky because it has the Eternabond tape wrapped around it, but that's the only kind of tape that will stay on there, because otherwise all you would see is a bunch of rust right there. It's advertised, and we pay for stainless steel, but it's made in China steel that is far from stainless. These are secure hooks. If I want to mount something on the back, I could lie it on top of here. For example, maybe a bicycle can stand on there and be attached there, surfboard, whatever. Just whatever you want to put on there. I thought about getting a box to put here, but I kind of like this as a place to set stuff once in a while, like to use as a table, except I have to be mindful if I go someplace that there might be something on here and I need to remove it, or else I will lose it. So don't want to ever put anything valuable on here. One idea is to put the key on here if I'm not in an area where people will just take my key. For example, at my own home, the car key put here, so that before I go anywhere I have to look at this table, make sure there's nothing there, grab the key and go. Oh, this is an inverted battery box that I painted white to further protect the gas can. And then I have a screw going into this latch here to keep it on there real well. In places where there are hurricane evacuations, this 5-gallon gas can be a really good thing to have. Because since I'm in South Florida, this 20-gallon gas tank cannot get me out of Florida unless I have another 5 gallons. So that's one of the reasons for that. Because when you're evacuating, you don't want to be stopping unless it's absolutely necessary. You just want to keep going, go, get out. Because the more places you stop, the more likely your delay is going to cause issues with trying to get gas anywhere. And the longer you take, the more the chances are you'll be stuck in a traffic jam. The way these louvers, I don't know, or shades are made is simply cut the bottom 3 sides with a corner preferably, and then push it up, and there's the window, because it already has the factory glass. And then obviously these will help protect from the hot sun getting in there. And this huge white panel on each side will block the sun quite a bit. And in the center, it's overlapping, because I noticed this last summer when I was traveling through the Northeast, when they had record high temperatures in the summer, the heat was getting in through the crack into the living area, and so this will help prevent that quite a bit. I've tried putting those rectangle reflectors on here so that when I'm sleeping at night, a car will be less likely to slam into me. Maybe somebody texting or whatever, not looking, paying attention. But so here's a sample of one. This one's protected by the weather, so it stayed intact. But I had another one here not protected by the weather, and it just fell apart to crap. And then I learned there's different codes for these reflectors. I think .2 is the strongest type, but still, see here, .C2. But even those aren't necessarily super strong. Look, not at all. So reflective tape is a really flaky situation. They just don't hold up very well, even if it's so-called rated .2, which I think either the government failed to provide adequate standards for those, and or they're just simply made in China and just slip through the system without quality control checks by the Department of Transportation. I think I'm the only one in the world who has repainted the this area like this, in this particular style, with the white trim left around it, because everyone else does it solid black, but I did a white trim that I like better. Okay, that's it for the exterior. Let me know what you think, or if you have any suggestions what to do, what would you do different, and then I'll make a separate one for the interior.